In every city, there's a moment when imagination steps beyond the walls of a room and enters the real world. A moment when possibility moves from the page to the pavement. Here in Peachtree Corners, that moment became a place where bold ideas meet a city brave enough to test them.
The vision behind Curiosity Lab really stems from competition. Competition that cities have with each other, locally and around the world for activity, which is the currency of a healthy community. Out of that need to be competitive came the idea that we might be able to take something that we're uniquely positioned to regulate, operate, maintain, and that's public right-of-way, and turn it into a magnet for activity in and of itself.
With the huge history of tech here in this technology park, which is actually the state's first technology park, they wanted to really leverage that. This is also where the Hayes modem was invented, which is the modern modem. This is where Scientific Atlanta, which later became Cisco, was founded, and even the color printer was founded here. The mission of Curiosity Lab was to take that history of tech and to really turn it into something that could really service bringing more jobs and activity to the city.
Vision alone doesn't shape a future. It takes a system built to move with the speed of innovation, a place where decisions happen quickly, where red tape gives way to real progress.
One of the core principles and tenets of Curiosity Lab is that we want to create a low or zero bureaucratic system here, and because it's our rights of way and the city owns it, it's very quick for the decision makers to review proposals, review infrastructure, and give the thumbs up very quickly.
Our ability to work so closely with the city and execute and move things forward is key to our success. We move in very quick cycles and we work as a very cohesive, nimble team to get things done. We're all with the same purpose, all with the same synergy.
And when a city opens its doors, not just to technology, but to the people building it, something powerful emerges. Collaboration becomes momentum. Momentum becomes possibility.
As a city, this is our best asset. Being able to, bring companies and let them use our infrastructure sets us apart. And at the time, 6 years ago, autonomous vehicles were a big thing. They still are, but they were in their infancy. And so we're able to quickly build the infrastructure so that a vehicle could start testing. And that really sets us apart on this.
We found that there's a great opportunity for us to bring autonomous vehicles here, not just to serve the community, but also really test the latest and greatest in autonomy innovation here. And the city is so forward thinking in how they're looking at bringing smart technologies together, and this constellation of these technologies are really able to bring forth kind of the future of what cities in America should look like.
Most test facilities are closed. They're closed tracks, and that's very predictable. Here at Curiosity Lab, it's a live test environment. We have real vehicles, we have real people, and we have a lot of unpredictable incidents, occurrences that happen that just happens randomly. That's an environment we want to test in. That's an environment that actually needs the solutions to create a safer environment for the roadway and the motorist.
Curiosity Lab takes you from real-world testing to real-world impact. It's a living laboratory where emerging technologies are deployed, tested, and scaled in a real city. They're able to build and iterate within the Innovation Center, but also go out into the real world and they can see the impact of their actual technologies. I think that's really like the special sauce that Curiosity Lab has that helps companies to scale and grow.
Innovation isn't a single breakthrough. It's a chain of sparks. Every test, every stumble, every success fuels the next. Here, one company's insight becomes another's foundation.
The first word that comes to my mind when I think of Curiosity Lab is innovation. I don't know from one day to the next what I'm going to be walking into, but it's always exciting and it's always new and it's very innovative.
So with Curiosity Lab, they bring in hundreds and thousands of different partners every day, every week, every year to try out their technology in a real-world application. Our platform brings all those different partners onto that one piece of glass.
So I think the unique thing that was really created at Curiosity Lab is when you walk in the building, you're seeing companies like T-Mobile, UPS, Cisco, Esri, all the way down to these early stage startups who are creating products that are just changing the environment together. And you get to work alongside of them, collaborate together, and we saw that benefit Jugano tremendously. right? We're sitting in rooms with T-Mobile, with UPS. How do we help them? But then also looking at these new startups who are creating product that we can bring into our platform and then go help and deploy in cities together. And I don't think you get a place like that traditionally when you work with cities, right? It's a very unique environment that Curiosity Lab's created.
There's a lot of opportunity here to kind of share what Digi can do, how we can help people, because it's about technology, but one of the things that Digi does well is connect that new technology to legacy equipment. And that's really where we kind of found a fit here at the Curiosity Lab.
Technology evolves quickly, but community evolves with intention. What happens inside these walls shapes what happens outside them. Each new partner, each new platform, expands what this ecosystem can become.
For me, Curiosity Lab is home away from home. When I come here, I feel that everyone around is part of my life and my day-to-day and my energy to wake up in the morning and do things. So this is like a second home for me. There's always something to see, some innovation, robots, different things that still nowadays I don't know, and I still learning about the different businesses here, and it's fascinating.
Well, what we have going on here is really the next generation in visual intelligence. It is what we call video as a sensor, or IQ Sight as it goes. And what we do is use your standard security camera footprint. We've added intelligence at the edge to those cameras so that they can be further used in operational use cases as well as safety and security use cases. And they really give you an idea of what the camera sees as if that camera were a person.
So AI is everywhere. And from the intersection standpoint, we're able to create data and extract that data from the intersection side to ease the congestions of day-to-day traffic that we see everywhere. By adding different layers on top of those sensors, we're able to extract near miss, count, speed, classification, how many cars turned left, how many cars turned right, how long did it take that pedestrian to cross from point A to point B, and provide that information to the engineers who can then adjust the timing of that particular intersection to keep traffic moving.
And as this network expands, its impact stretches far beyond Technology Park. What begins as an experiment here becomes a blueprint for cities around the world.
Well, the impact of Curiosity Lab is multifaceted. I mean, the first is just increasing the profile of both the city, the county, the region, because we've created something here that we've really not identified anywhere else in the world that has all the capabilities that we do in this ecosystem. So it's really put us on the map, put Metro Atlanta on the map. And so the impact in our profile is really incalculable.
Curiosity Lab is home and host to companies from all over the world, whether it's T-Mobile from the Pacific Northwest area, whether it's Intuitive Surgical, which is a huge company that had recently moved in there from California. Other companies coming in from all over the world. We have partners in France, Spain, United Kingdom, Japan, MUFG is a big company and a bank that we just partnered with. So it really is all over the place. We have startups from Israel, from Finland, from Sweden, and again, international cooperation is key to the success of all of it.
I think we just want to be bigger and better. It's a snowball effect. The more members you have, the more things you can do, the bigger the interest, the more exciting events that you can put on. So I want us to keep growing. I want us to keep still being good at what we do. I want our reputation to continue to be one of professionalism and just being there in whatever capacity it is, to being there to help the companies. Our events are also gaining in momentum. We have yearly events that are totally sold out. We really are achieving, I think, a lot in terms of our capacity to help and to help companies succeed.
We have a lot of delegations that come through here, and what that means for us, it gives us exposure to what's going on in other markets from emerging technology, so we can understand, what their needs are. So what's happening in Europe may be different from North America, from Asia Pac, but then we get a good eye to all that kind of technology, and we bring it here to start working with it and see if we can, bring it into market in North America.
But progress isn't only measured by the companies it attracts. It's measured by trust, by how one city tests boldly so others can build confidently.
A lot of cities, when they see really cool technology, they might be excited to bring it to their own city, but at the same time, you're using taxpayer money and you want to make sure that you're careful with that money and that it's going to be effective, whatever you're bringing in. So when we get a chance to test things, and we're doing it for free, so companies are bringing it on their own dime, we're able to kind of show other cities, hey, what's working, what isn't. So other cities can look at us as sort of a pilot as well and be like, hey, we saw that there was some really great work with these smart light poles or with this AI camera, and then they can bring it to their city. So we get to kind of be the guinea pig in a lot of aspects, but we're still doing it safely because we're keeping the bounds within Technology Park. We're making sure that things are, complying with cybersecurity rules and things like that. So there's a lot of impact in terms of the growth, not just for these companies, but also cities and what they're able to bring to their residents and to their employees by watching what we're doing.
Curiosity Lab was only a few years old. This concept was unique. Our residents were still a little bit like, what is this thing and how is it providing value to us? And we found ourselves in the final list of locations for a large medical company that makes robotic assisted surgical systems. And they were looking to build a $600 million East Coast headquarters. And we found ourselves as a finalist. They ultimately chose us, and when the CEO told me that it was Curiosity Lab as what just tipped them, that was a huge deal because not only was it the biggest economic development project that this county has had in its over 200-year history, it validated the magnetism and value of Curiosity Lab. And our residents now benefit from it because now their property values went up. There are more jobs for even some of them. Schools are healthier. We have a corporate, resident of the city that are now our biggest employer. That was a good feeling. The thought behind creating Curiosity Lab and it being a magnet ended up paying off in a big way.
In the end, Curiosity Lab is more than a place. It's a promise that when vision meets courage, when collaboration meets purpose, a city can become a launch pad for the world. This is Peachtree Corners. This is Curiosity Lab, where ideas come to life.